Towards the composition of the bone. So basically the bone is divided into actually organic and unorganic portions, and it consists, most of them is actually unorganic, which is actually 2/3 of the unorganic metal and 1/3 of the organic matrix. The unorganic metal is basically mostly principally consists of two important minerals, which is calcium and phosphate. Along with this, hydroxyl carbonate, citrate, trace amounts of other ions like sodium, magnesium, fluorine is also found, but the main is actually calcium and phosphate. The minerals are in the salts are in the form of hydroxyapatite crystals with their ultra microscopic size, and that constitutes for 2/3 of the bone structure. The organic portion mostly consists of the type 1 collagen, which is 90%, and also small amount of non-collagenous proteins such as osteocalcin, proteonectin, and bone morphogenetic proteins, and phosphoproteins and proteoglycans. Then it consists of also two important molecules, adhesion proteins, that are known as osteopoietin or bone sallow protein. These are very important during the attachment for both the cells like osteoclast and osteoblast. In addition, we have actually a paracrine factors. These paracrine factors is actually a signaling molecules that is released by a cell that act locally on nearby cells rather than traveling long distance through blood streams like hormones. So means they act locally like cytokines, chemokines, and we have actually growth factors. They actually act locally, okay, and has been implicated in the local control of mesenchymal condensation. Means it locally control the mesenchymal condensation that occurs on the onset of organogenesis. These factors play an important role during the development of the alveolar bone process. Although the development of the alveolar tissue is constantly changing, its internal organization, means the internal structure is constantly changing, but it tries to retain approximately the same form from childhood to the adult life. Like it tries to, but mostly it remains same. So basically the bone deposition like by osteoblast and resorption by So basically actually the osteoclast is responsible for resorption during remodeling and renewal. Okay. It is well known that the number of osteoblasts decreases, means the osteoblast number is actually decreased with time. So with the time the osteoblast number decreases, but the osteoclast number does not changes actually. Remodeling is actually a major pathway in the bony changes in shape and resistance to force, repair of wounds, and calcium phosphate homeostasis. Means remodeling is a very major path or a very principal process in the bony changes, like for in their shape, how they will resist the forces, the repair of wounds, and also the amount of calcium and phosphate in the body. Indeed, the coupling of bone resorption with bone formation constitute one of the fundamental principles. It is actually one of the fundamental principles by which bone is necessary remodeling throughout the life of a human being. Bone remodeling actually involves a coordination of activities of cells, and we know two major cells like osteoblast and osteoclast, which actually one resorb and one resorb the mineralized connective tissue, and other it forms. The regulation of bone remodeling is actually a very complex process that involves hormones and local factors. We know hormones like calcitonin and parathyroid, and local factors also like an autocrine or paracrine manner on the generation and activity of the differentiated